Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Brian and today we're here coming back bringing another amazing video from my friends out in Argentina. Welcome back to American Reacts to Geography Now, Argentina. Welcome back, my amigos. I'm so excited to announce that this video has been brought to you by the amazing people over at Surfshark VPN. If you care about your online safety, such as your banking credentials or even your social media pages, a VPN would be an amazing solution for you. Not to mention, you could also gain access to some websites that you aren't usually able to, such as the American Netflix. Surfshark VPN is able to do this by altering your IP address, offering you more safety and freedom online. Did you know that if you're searching up for flights or hotel based on your geolocation, apparently they could ramp up the price or decrease it? So like this, it gives you more of a healthy comparison. Every dollar counts towards that next big trip, right? By using my discount code, you're actually able to unlock 83% of a discount, which is the best price on the market. So definitely check it out. Use this, it's gonna help you out. And did I mention you also get a free month? Surfshark VPN has been amazing enough to support us, so make sure you guys show some love to them. You could also find a link down below in the description box. Give it a click. Don't forget to use my discount code BRIANV to unlock this amazing pricing. And once again, thank you so much Surfshark VPN for sponsoring this video. Now let's dive into the actual video. My friends, we're going to be checking out an amazing channel that goes by the name of Geography Now. Long story short, what he does here is pretty much break down each country and some of their traditional patterns and other amazing stuff and fun facts about them. Check them out if you haven't, otherwise you're about to. Of course, we're going to be checking out the Argentinian edition, so make sure you follow me on Instagram. Like that we could talk back and forth and let me know what you thought about this one. And by the way, in case you weren't aware, we just made it possible for everyone to add subtitles onto this video, so if you want to volunteer to translate this, that'd be pretty awesome. Please let me know, I would love to send you the link and I would highly appreciate it. But with that being said, let's find out what Barbie had to say.
Alright, our first South American country. This is the land of silver.
Just realized
not
that
really.
is.
Welcome to Argentina.
Because he did it in like an alphabetical order.
It's time to learn geography now!
We'll explain more about that silver stuff later, but first, you know the drill. Let's talk about the flag. The Argentinian flag has equally long, tall, white and blue stripes, and it's interesting because there technically isn't an official meaning to these colors. Many will say that it resembles the sky with blue and the white clouds. However, many historians will tell you that it's
that's what I would have assumed.
The House of Bourbon. In the center is the Sun of May emblem. Historians accredit this emblem to representing the Incan design of the sun god Kintija. Alright, that was fun. Now let's talk about Argentina's location and borders in political geography.
Kintija. This is the first time I actually hear that name.
Argentina is located on the bottom part of the South American continent, bordered by 5 other countries and the Atlantic to the east. It's divided into 23 separate provinces and the autonomous capital city of Buenos Aires. Argentina's borders are pretty simple, except for that one island called Isla Martin Garcia that lies in Uruguayan waters and is kind of shared by both countries. Otherwise, many of Argentina's borders are actually just natural.
It's pretty cool that they cut it in half, though.
Such as the Andes Mountains in the west
Uruguay's
of
pretty
Chile,
small,
and
bro.
in the Misiones province, the Rio Parana, Iguazu, and San Antonio rivers, and the Uruguay River for Uruguay and Brazil. Which, by the way, gives Argentina a very distinguishable panhandle, kind of like Afghanistan that we studied a few weeks ago. You can even see it from space. Due to the fact that the land is less cultivated and thanks to natural river borders, it has a more lush green appearance that sticks out in contrast to its neighbor nations. But then you get the arbitrary summer borders over flat land and hills, kind of like the ones by Bolivia, sometimes marked boldly and sometimes virtually invisible. Where things get really complicated though is in the south, more specifically, the furthest south. Tierra del Fuego, or the Land of Fire, which is pretty ironic considering that it's actually one of the coldest places in all of Argentina, was named after the fires that Magellan saw the native tribes using on the land when he discovered the area in the 16th century. Well, that was a lot of information. Now let's talk about what the land actually looks like.
I think it's a pretty cool name, but yeah, that is really ironic.
Argentina is one of the most diverse countries in terms of landscape. In almost every corner, you see something that is completely different from the opposite corner that you were just at. In the north by Brazil and Paraguay, you can find rainforests and lush, humid tropic zones. In the interior and Midwest, you can find flat pampas and farmlands and hills. In the west by Chile, you find the mountains, with the highest point being Mount Aconcagua, which, by the way, is the highest mountain in all of South America. In the east by the Atlantic, you can find
any of you guys hikers?
beaches.
Like, leave a comment down below.
South, you can find ranches and mineral mines, and a little bit further south from that, you can find cold and chilly rocky deserts and cacti in the
mountain climbers, actually,
and petrified wood forests, such as the one in Ormachea. If you go even further south into the end of the Patagonia region, you can find glaciers and ice. This is the coldest part of Argentina. It's kind of interesting though, because the South south part of South America has what you would probably call a reverse double rain shadow effect, in which wind currents cause the moisture to stay in the north part of Argentina, making the north part of Chile a desert, and the complete opposite in the south, in which Argentina becomes a
That's
desert,
so
and
cool,
Chile
man.
has a lush green interior. Kind of interesting how that happens.
It's like
Funny
vice
story,
versa.
Argentina was actually originally colonized because the settlers thought that the land would be rich in silver, hence where Argentina gets its name, the Latin word argentum, which means silver. However, in a weird turn of events, Argentina was actually rich in almost every single mineral except silver. Zinc, copper, and lead can be found in various mines all over. However, Argentina is especially rich in boron, making Argentina the third largest boron producer in the world after Turkey and the US. Hope I haven't boroned you yet with okay, that was terrible. Let's just...
That was pretty bad,
Here's
man.
the demographics.
Just go.
Argentina has a population of about 41 million people, or roughly the same as the country of Sudan. The Argentines have the
Wow,
same.
that's a lot of
Los
people.
Argentinos descienden de los barcos, or the Argentines are descended from the boats, meaning that Argentina is almost completely and entirely a country of immigrants. Argentina can actually
Just like the
disputably
United
be
States.
considered
That's pretty
as
cool.
the whitest country in all of South America. It's kind of hard to distinguish the specific percentages though, because many Argentine census reports don't really factor in race too often, but even the most conservative estimates put Argentina at somewhere around 85 to 95% European. Believe it or not, about half of the
What the heck,
Argentinian
man?
population is Italian, or at least partial Italian in their descent. Floods of people from Italy immigrated in the 19th and 20th centuries to avoid economic turmoil in the mother country and saw Argentina as a way to rebuild their lives. Spanish, of course, plays into that mix as well, and about 17% of the people identify as French and about 8% German, with the remaining European groups coming from a slew of countries like Norway, Sweden, the Netherlands, and so on. In fact, interestingly enough, if you go to the
That's pretty
Chubut
cool,
province
man.
in the south, you can actually find a town of about 50,000 Welsh people called Uladfa Gymraeg. A good portion of these people are actually fluent in Welsh, making Argentina one of the few places in the world where you can actually find a genuine Welsh community with instituted facilities that speak Welsh as a main language. Argentina actually used to have a surprisingly large black population, especially during the colonial days, and at one point during Spanish colonization, blacks actually made up a third of the entire population. However, after independence, the population of blacks sharply declined due to a number of factors, such as epidemics, anti-African legislation in the early years, and many of them emigrated to more African-friendly nations like Paraguay and Brazil. Today, they make up less than 1% of the entire population. However, they have definitely left their mark on Argentine culture with contributions to art and music, and arguably the inception of the tango. When it comes to culture, Argentina has a very defined and nationalistic approach to how they operate and view in life. They like to keep things classy, but in their own Argentinian way, distinct from the European way. The last thing an Argentinian would want to hear you say is,
"Oh man,
you are so Spanish." Argentina also has a huge wine culture, as they are
but the accent
largest
gets
producer of
mistaken
wine
often,
in the world, and they're very heavy on soccer, or football, and basketball, with an impressive amount of players already having been drafted in the NBA, such as my favorite, Andres Nocioni. Speaking of international trade-offs, let's talk about Argentina's
I'm not into sports, so I don't know.
In order to understand how Argentina works diplomatically, you kind of have to understand its history. Since its independence, Argentina has gone through a lot of crazy times. To make things short, Argentina was part of the Spanish Empire as well as many of her neighbor nations. However, when an empire collapses, guess what happens? Internal conflict. In post-colonial independent times, Argentina has had wars and battles with every single one of her neighbor nations except for Uruguay. Today, Argentina gets along pretty well with her siblings, even though she adopted different trade policies from many of them. Now, when it comes to Spain, Argentina definitely does not have post-colonial Stockholm syndrome. Now, granted, Argentines do love Spanish people, they just don't like the Spanish government. However, when it comes to their best friends, Argentina might probably consider Uruguay and Italy their best friends. Uruguay has a very similar demographic and culture to the Argentines.
That's so
and they have been
interesting
very
that
close for as long
so
as their
close to
country's
Italy.
conceptions. Some might even argue that Uruguay is kind of like the cute little sidekick of Argentina. And of course, Italy is definitely a huge player in the Argentinian clique. Not only do over half of the people in Argentina identify with Italy ethnically, but many of the major and most important companies in Argentina are Italian-based, such as Techint, Iveco, Pirelli, and Telecom. In conclusion, Argentina might not exactly be the country of silver that it was originally thought to be, but the spirit of the people with their fierce culture and passion definitely make them look golden.
That was absolutely incredible. Thank you, Barbie, so much for making these videos. I really appreciate it. So there's definitely a lot of things to take from this. A few things that I was not aware of. Since when has Argentina been referred to as like the country of silver? Once again, I know several of you guys have mentioned in the comment section. I'm not Mexican, by the way. I was born in the United States, but my family is Colombian. I've grown up having a few friends from Argentina. Little did I know about this stuff. Mind you, we never really spoke about our cultural backgrounds that often. So it's really cool learning more about it now. I was not aware that apparently Argentine or Argentum.
Argentum, which means silver.
So that's pretty interesting. Just finding that out now. But instead, you guys were full of boron, which is pretty bordacious. I feel like if you add dacious to something at the end, like it just makes it more like luscious. You feel me? Something I found very interesting, as you guys know, I am a big fan of music. I wasn't aware that it has been claimed that Argentina has been one of the homes of tango. So pretty badass. Argentina has definitely had a rich history and has just about everything that nature has to offer. Everything from mountains to like waterfalls and everything else in between, which is absolutely stunning. It's really hard to get all of that in one country. So congratulations. I can only imagine that Argentinians are more outdoorsy people than usual. I would assume. Did I also mention that I think it's absolutely incredible that Argentina has over 50% of the population identifying as part Italian? It's so awesome to see that these countries that are so separate and like far apart have like such an amazing relationship together. If you recently found out that you have an Italian background, this is your perfect chance. In case you were not aware, we have actually covered the Italian series as well, so I'm going to link that down below so you can check it out. But otherwise, stick around, we got more amazing videos at the end of this one. And if you were not aware, we actually have a P.O. box so you can send over an amazing postcard or a handwritten letter or maybe some snacks. Because if you do, I would love to make a video out of it. Just please let me know if you do send something. I would love to personally thank you. If you prefer more of a digital approach, we also have a Patreon page which offers some pretty amazing perks. Check it out if you haven't already. Otherwise, don't. I mean, it's 2019. You got options. Stick around. We got more amazing video at the end of this one. And until next time, my friends, hasta la pasta. And I'll see you guys on the flip side. Bye.